What if the world's greatest monsters were real fossils?
What if the world's greatest monsters were real fossils?
Dragons captivate us are terrifying yet majestic beasts of lore.
Majestic beasts of lore.
But these legends emerged long before modern paleontology existed. They saw colossal remains or relics of creatures they could not name. And now that we understand the context, let's explore the evidence. The earliest dragon myths often reflect giant reptile skeletons. Consider the massive pelvis bones of ancient, heavy-bodied herbivores. Imagine ancient peoples finding these immense, alien structures. Without context, large reptile remains become mythological blueprints. In East Asia, serpentine forms dominate the dragon narrative. This echoes the discovery of long, powerful skeletons, perhaps early long-necked sauropods. The sense of wisdom and control associated with these eastern dragons arose from their perceived stability. But their connection to water and weather further solidified their divine status. Now that we understand the serpentine connection, let's examine winged beasts. A European mythology speaks of large, predatory, winged terrors. These legends likely stemmed from discoveries of large, flying reptiles. The vast wingspan, an impossible sight today, fueled their terrifying reputation. Predatory jaws, sharp teeth, features preserved perfectly in fossilized remains. The empty sockets of ancient skulls must have looked like the eyes of demons. This explains the common theme of dragons hoarding treasure and guarding places. And the sharp, durable claws, mistaken for weapons, reinforced the danger. The sheer geological time scale of these buried giants is staggering. Imagine attempting to process that immense timeline without scientific tools. A fear and reverence are natural responses to the unknown and the immense. But the dragon concept is truly global, suggesting widespread fossil discoveries. An ancient Chinese text mentioned dragons controlling rain and harvests. But this connects to the fossilized remains of large, aquatic reptiles found near riverbeds. Some cultures emphasize the dragon's singular, massive tooth as a sacred relic. These often belong to apex predators, whose skulls are easily unearthed intact. Now that we understand the diverse physical roots, consider the cultural impacts. Early civilizations often lived closer to the Earth's raw, exposed history. But even smaller marine reptile fossils could inspire tales of sea serpents. Coastal communities had endless exposure to strange marine bones washed ashore. The human mind naturally attempts to piece together broken, massive puzzles. This piecing process created fantastical composites, blurring the lines of reality. A horned dinosaur skull can easily morph into a fearsome, mythological demon head. But the cranial ornamentation, often for display, became symbols of terrifying power. In mountainous regions, grounded, bulky reptiles formed the basis of earthbound dragons. Their sheer size implied immense strength, suitable for guardian myths. But these ground dwellers offered proof of terrestrial, formidable beasts. But conversely, smaller creatures also contributed to the tapestry of myth. On tiny, strange bones could become venomous snakes or lesser spirits. Bach, the ultimate fantasy element, however, remains the ability to fly. While true dragons didn't fly, evidence of giant ancient birds was present. And these enormous avians provided a real-world template for winged majesty. The humans extrapolated the reptilian body onto this massive avian framework. The dragon became the composite expression of all discovered ancient giants. It unified the power of the earth, sea and sky into one symbol. These foundational myths provided structure and explanation in uncertain times. The stories taught caution, respect for nature, and the power buried beneath. The river, where water dragons were rumored, often marked sacred boundaries. What seemed like magic was simply the interpretation of monumental geology. And the journey from fragmented bone to full dragon took millennia of retelling. But each culture painted the beast with its own local color and fear. But the core element, the impossibly huge skeleton, remained the constant driver. Today, paleontology gives these legends a tangible, scientific foundation. We reconstruct what they could only guess at ancient, powerful ecosystems. And the dragons never truly existed as myth dictates, but their ancestors certainly did. Our ancestors were brilliant interpreters, building stories from the scattered evidence. But the truth about dragons is rooted deep in the Earth's magnificent history.